What's up, guys? My name is Hutch and I make videos and put them on the internet. This series is a series that I do called Movie Talks, where I fucking talk about movies. It's in the title. A lot of you guys watch Philip DeFranco's series on movies, which I haven't watched yet, but I really respect Philip DeFranco. He's like really nice to me when I first came on the scene so many years ago. And one of the suggestions that you guys give is that I give you guys a heads up of what movie I'm going to be doing or covering. And I don't know if I can do that because I'm so flighty. So if I say, alright, I'm going to watch Lord of the Rings for the purposes of a Movie Talks on Wednesday at 8, something always comes up and I just never do it. And then I feel bad, like I lied to you. And then the hatred comes back. And then you got to let the hurt out. By the end of the night, you've killed your dog, your wife's in the hospital, and your dad won't talk to you. You know? Goes to dark places. I'm okay. What was I just talking about last? Speaking of weird, Red Dragon's an awesome movie. Alright, full transparency, sometimes people approach YouTubers to do campaigns, like paid campaigns to support a product or a thing, and one of the things that I've been called on, and I watched the preview for the show, looks awesome, the new Hannibal show on NBC. And the cast is awesome. Lawrence Fishburne is in it, and then, that guy. He plays the protagonist, I'm not sure his name. I've seen him in other movies, and then the guy who played the villain for Casino Royale in the James Bond film, like maybe 7 years ago. The villain in that is now Hannibal Lecter, playing a young Hannibal Lecter who is giving advice to another forensic psychologist. So it's a you know the formula, but TV's just doing crazy shit these days because they kind of have to, because they have to step it up, because the internet's, you know, being the internet and being awesome. But that's awesome too, because now we have awesome TV. TV is just getting so much more graphic than it was when we were kids, that's for sure. Part of the campaign, it's called Watch With Me. I'm going to be watching the show live as it airs, and I can't remember what time, but it's on Thursday. I should check. It's going to be in the description what time it airs, and it's on NBC. It looks awesome, and I'm going to be tweeting with you guys and having conversations about that then. So that's full transparency about that. In case you were wondering if I'm a sellout, I am. If you guys want to watch it with me, awesome. That's when it's going down. I'm going to be on Twitter and the Facebooks, geeking out. So movie talks today. I'm going to talk about Red Dragon. I thought this movie was really underappreciated. It's with Edward Norton, Ralph Fiennes, Emma Watson, Harvey Keitel, Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it too. It was a really great cast, and casts for me are important in movies, and all those actors I really, really greatly respect. Like Philip Seymour Hoffman has been in so many. Capote, The Master, Emma Watson was great in Punch Drunk Love. Ralph Fiennes is just awesome in general. Edward Norton, American History X, the list goes on and on. I even like The Incredible Hulk. Harvey Keitel just is fucking Harvey Keitel, so don't fuck with him. Boom. You just know that about Harvey Keitel. And the story behind Red Dragon is fucking horrifying. It's, spoiler alert, it is going to be spoilers. Red Dragon was shot more like Silence of the Lambs, the original in the series. And then the second one, Hannibal, I think was directed by Tony or Ridley Scott. I think it was Ridley Scott. And it was a lot different. It was like an action movie mixed with what they were doing instead of suspense, so they went more action-y with it. And then, you know, I don't want to say it was bad, but I don't think it was as effective as the first movie, and so they went back to that same presentation for Red Dragon. And great story, great cast. It ended up being a great film for me. I went and saw that, like the IMDb ratings and things like that, and it wasn't rated nearly as high as Silence of the Lambs, which is kind of difficult because Silence of the Lambs is a masterpiece. But I thought Red Dragon was kind of up there. I thought I would give it like a 9 in my head, I think. I don't know how to think about those things in terms of numbers, but I really loved that movie. And the story is a formula that we're all kind of familiar with. Forensic psychologist, you find out that Edward Norton was actually the one who caught Hannibal Lecter, and that's how he ended up in prison in the first place. and he almost got killed because of it, and he has like some trauma around that and a lot of fear to go back into that field, so he retires, but then they call on him for like one last job because there's a new serial killer who's killing families, particularly singling out beautiful women, and then with families that are mothers, and then killing the entire family, killing the mom, and then taking certain liberties with the mom's body afterwards. And the killer is Ray Fiennes, who suffered a lot of trauma and abuse as a kid from his grandma or mom, but from a woman who like physically beat him, humiliated him, tortured him, and he became fixated on becoming powerful to combat that, and he just went to the dark side with it, got a tattoo of a dragon on his back, and wanted to physically embody a dragon, was just obsessed with this one painting of a dragon, and but then he meets Emma Watson's character in a work setting, I believe. I can't remember what he does in the movie. My memory is not so sharp about certain things, but I fixate on other things. And so he meets Emma Watson, and she's just lovely. And he's got a physical deformity in the form of a cleft palate, or I'm not sure what I think there was some reparative surgery, so maybe he got his lip busted open. You never really know. All you know he has this scar. But you find out that she's blind and can't see it, and so that puts him at ease. But he's in the middle of like a metamorphosis into like a dragon in his mind, and he's killing all these family, and he's going out in a blaze of glory. But she gives him pause, and she makes him reevaluate his own self-hatred because she loves him. Like, she shows love and care and affection and interest and curiosity for him, and that's making him like, oh, this isn't supposed to happen, I'm fucking killing people. And so going back to Edward Norton, he goes back to Hannibal Lecter like some years later to ask him for advice on how to kill this guy. And the way that he gets him in is he says, the reason I thought you would like this is because I thought you would like the challenge to see if you were smarter than he was. And then Hannibal Lecter doesn't like that and says, well, by implication, you think you're smarter than me because you caught me. And Edward Norton says, no, you don't. I don't think that, because he recognizes that Hannibal Lecter is a genius in some respects. The only problem is that he's fucking crazy. He's a psychopath, and they even say that in the film. So I was watching this movie last night. It was at the end of a really good day. Like me and Liz just had a really good day, and we got a lot of stuff done and had a good time with each other, and it was just great. And we put on that movie, and I had to stop watching it towards like the end, not because it was freaking me out, because it was just like, it was so intense, and that movie's so graphic. And there are times when I'm in the mood for that, like Thursday night. But after a long day like that, it was so intense that I was like, and I had to stop watching it. I'll probably watch it again today because I was just in one of those moods. But I was raised with a fascination with serial killers. Like, I don't know why, but my dad's a cop. I was raised with Cops, America's Most Wanted, Unsolved Mysteries, all those shows. And then I would start reading books about all these different unsolved crimes and Helter Skelter, and read about Charles Manson at a very young age. And I don't know if it disturbed me or traumatized me. I'm fine, but I have that curiosity there. And I think that's what makes like action movies or suspense or gory or horror kind of interesting to me, because I don't actually get scared. It's not like that. I always recognize that it's a movie. And Red Dragon is just one of those movies where I know that if it can upset me that much that I have to put it off and watch it like a little bit, then I know that it's doing something right. And I thought Edward Norton was pretty good. Anthony Hopkins was just brilliant as always, and I thought his Hannibal Lecter in this one was a little bit more young and arrogant. It was a little bit younger and more arrogant, which makes sense because it's a prequel. But I thought Anthony Hopkins did a good job of displaying that with the character. So, and then the film ends on this cliffhanger where the warden, or whatever you call him, I'm not sure, the man who sort of supervises the day-to-day at the lockdown facility, he's this weaselly little fuck. He says, oh, there's someone else to see you, she's actually kind of lovely, or something like that, implying that that was going to be Jodie Foster's character coming in. And so it was a really good setup. I love Red Dragon. I thought it was underappreciated. If you guys have seen it, then jump in the comments and let me know if you thought the same, or if you thought that it fell short in some ways, or just whatever you think. I really like reading these comments, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Bye.